Recording it. Well, I can't like when we start talking, we don't stop. So I don't want to have to restart. What is going on, brother? How you been doing?
Man, I've been good, just busy as all hell. Just working, working, working.
I'm not used to seeing you a working man, bro. We're used to seeing you as a traveling man. It's different.
I know, dude. It's I'm about to go on a trip somewhere. I don't know where,
Doesn't even
but
matter.
it doesn't matter really. Mountains would be good. Diving trip would be cool. Just a beach to lay down on would be awesome.
Just not working.
Yeah, after that hurricane hit, man, we just been slammed. So just busting ass, dude, all the time.
That's it.
Fights on the weekends.
That's right. That's what we're here to talk
Crazy,
about
dude.
too, baby. The fights. I'm excited. Oh, I'm
Oh my
excited.
God, man. Are you excited? Are you more excited to talk about the fights that have happened lately, or the one that's coming up Saturday?
Definitely the one Saturday because our boy Dustin Poirier is fighting. I say our boy. I'm assuming you are a Dustin Poirier stan, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I love Dustin Poirier, man. I've always been a fan of his.
Does
And
he
it's
get it
like
done?
it's not just a Louisiana thing, honestly, because there are fighters from Louisiana that I don't give a shit about. You know what I mean? I just like the way
Right.
Dustin Poirier fights and the way he carries himself,
He's a dog.
dude. Yeah,
Like
I
he's got the
rewatched.
dog in him.
I just rewatched his fight against Max Holloway. I love Max Holloway, and like the first time I watched it, I honestly thought it was a closer fight than it really was.
No, Dustin beat the brakes off of him.
But Dustin beat the shit out of him, dude. I was like, damn. I think it's just because sometimes I have to rewatch fights because the first time I watch a fight, my bias definitely plays a factor. Like
Right.
it's like I'm like, oh man. And then that one punch that they land, I'm like, yes, my boy hit him. But realistically, if you just got pieced up like 8 times before that, then
Right.
it doesn't really matter.
Right. So what happens this weekend?
What happens this weekend?
I'm talking
Dustin
about
Poirier.
Amanda Nunes.
What do you think happens? Come on,
I'm
man.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We know what happens with Nunes, man. Come on. What do you think happens with Poirier and Oliveira, man? Because it's a toss up to me. I like both of the guys. I'm pulling for Poirier, but I really like what Oliveira brings to the table. So it's like, man, it's tough. He's a dog too.
Um, Honestly, I think that Dustin Poirier beats Oliveira. A lot of the other fighters are saying it's 60-40.
Yeah,
And if Poirier can make it through, the first 2 rounds, then he'll win. Blah, 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 blah.
that's fair.
Poirier is not, I'm just going to say, dude, like, Poirier is not easy to submit at all. Like,
Yeah, but like, there's a difference between the guys that Poirier fights and Charles Oliveira too. Charles Oliveira is a demon on the ground. So I don't know. I
when's
feel
the
like
last time you saw Poirier on the ground?
Khabib.
Okay.
That was a mauling.
It was. All right.
He
Name
got,
another one. Name another time.
he got choked out by Korean Zombie. Michael Chandler, I think, had him on the ground. It's been a while though, because he doesn't the weight classes he's fought at. It's not really wrestling weight classes. That's why Khabib did well, and featherweight still didn't have wrestlers since Chad Mendez left. So, I
I
mean,
don't think, and I'm just going to be real. This is my prediction for that fight. I think Dustin Poirier wins, and I would call it 80-20. I would put my money on Dustin Poirier.
strong. I'm not that
I would put
confident.
money on it. I don't think that Oliveira has the tools to take Dustin Poirier down. Dustin Poirier is big for that weight class.
Yeah, and that's
Oliveira
one of
does
my
not look
things.
big for that weight class to me at all. It's fine if you're great on the ground, but how do you get him there?
Yeah, and we look
He
at
does not
like
have the takedowns of Khabib.
no,
I'm
I was
sorry.
about to say you look at Khabib and Khabib just sunned him, and Oliveira doesn't sun people like that. Yeah, that's
No, he can't.
my concern for Oliveira. How is he going to get this fight to the ground? Then again, though, I mean, Dustin might like rock him, and Oliveira's on bottom, and next thing you know, Dustin finds himself in an armbar or triangle. It's like, oh, this is out of nowhere. So like, it could be that because Oliveira does that all the time. The dude has the most submission wins in UFC history.
Yeah, I mean the dude is definitely super slick. I mean he's crazy Brazilian black belt, in jiu-jitsu. But
I'm
I
pulling
just don't
guard if I'm
think.
him.
I think if Poirier wants just a guaranteed win, he drops him and he goes, "Get up, come
That's
on, get up."
that's it. That's it. Make the ref stop the fight, because I am not going down there with Oliveira. Like, people talk about how Tony Ferguson's scary on the ground. No, it's Charles Oliveira that's probably the scariest guy in the UFC on the ground right now, with the exception of like Massoud Gamrot, who is an ADCC champion.
Yeah.
Or Ryan Hall.
Right.
He fights this weekend too.
Does he really? I really enjoy, he's one of them people that's no nonsense that'll fight anybody, bro. And I like that. I like fighters like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Ryan Hall. What else is on this card? Cody Garbrandt's fighting at flyweight. That's a little odd.
Did you see his physique?
It's horrible. It looks like TJ.
It's scary looking, man. But I don't know, man. I mean, he's on such a long losing streak. I think Cody's cool. I think that he's got some amazing knockouts.
Yeah.
I think that his confidence though is probably lacking. And
I think so too.
What do? You move down a weight class and you go, all right, this is where I belong.
They can't bully me here.
They can't bully me here. What happens if you run out of gas and then they bully you?
Which he can. And look, this guy he's fighting, I don't know if you've seen Kai Kara France fight.
Yeah, I have.
The dude fights like a bull in a china shop. It's amazing. He's so good. And
that's the one thing I think that Cody Garbrandt has that gives Cody Garbrandt a chance, is that Kai Kara France in the fights that I've seen him fight, he throws caution to the wind.
Yeah, very much.
That's
so.
what Cody Garbrandt actually needs, I think. Because he does have really nice knockout power, and even
Kara France comes in, unless Kara France comes in and is like, I'm gonna be like really, really timid and let Cody get a little bit tired because he's cutting all this weight, and then I'm gonna come with the ape shit, and it's like, oh man, this is gonna be a long night for Cody.
That's the smart game plan, I would think, is he's cutting like crazy. Look at his physique, wear him out, just
kick him in the liver.
Oh yeah,
just kick him, because
speaking of kicks, when we were talking about Dustin Poirier and Charles Oliveira,
it's a big part of it. You're right.
Charles Oliveira has some pretty cool kicks, I guess, but Dustin Poirier's leg kicks, his calf kicks have been getting so much better and better, and he's been incorporating them. It's become part of his fighting now. It's not just he's testing it out or he's been practicing it, let me try it in the fight. No, like he knows how to incorporate that kick in the middle of a combo. Like he'll 1-2, hit you with the 1-2 and then leg kick. And it's like, you just got hit in the head and you weren't expecting it in the leg. So there wasn't any kind of bracing moment, anything like that.
Right.
You wear somebody down with like that, and we see it time and time again. Like people's legs go out and they're gone. You know
who has the best leg kicks? And this is a segue to talk about a different fight. You know who has the best leg kick? Justin Gaethje. Did you see him and Michael Chandler fight? Did you see him and Michael? What the heck was that? Was the most amazing fight of the year, hands down.
Dude,
holy crap!
I loved that fight. I appreciate what Michael Chandler did. I, being a logical, like a pragmatic person, don't get it. Like anytime a fighter puts his hands down and is like, come on, and then like takes punches to the face, you're literally losing points. Like
he got cracked and he's like, wait, I'm gonna put my hands back up.
Yeah. He kept switching off that leg. He kept switching stances, and then he'd go right back to it because he just realized, like, I can't fight this guy in this other stance. Like, it's not going to work. I'm just going to have to suck it up, which kudos to him. Like, hats off to Michael Chandler about just a sheer determination and desire, like,
oh my gosh.
That was amazing, man.
Has Gaethje ever had a boring fight?
No. I mean, that's why he's called the highlight, man.
He is the highlight. It's amazing. He's fought Poirier.
You hear his talks lately is, they've changed in the past 2 weeks. Like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, he said something like Dustin Poirier would be too scared to fight him. He doesn't think Dustin Poirier wants to even fight him anymore, that he's going to retire. Some craziness like that. And I wouldn't
want to fight him either.
No, I mean, it's definitely not the fight you want, but honestly, if I was Dustin Poirier and I win this fight on Saturday, I would want Justin Gaethje for sure.
That is definitely the fight.
If Justin Gaethje, if they say, well, you're not getting Justin Gaethje, well, then who do you get?
Islam Makhachev. He's overhyped, bro. He really is.
I think so too.
He's too
But
willing to box. That's his problem, I think. Khabib was
I
like,
think when it comes down to the championship, I think he's gonna do the Dagestani leg cross and then dry hump you to victory.
I think he can be a champion, honestly. I think Gaethje and Poirier are holistic matchups for him. They're both very good against takedowns, and Islam's not as good of a takedown guy as Khabib is. He's too willing to
But he has
box.
better hands, I think.
Yeah, he has way better hands, but he's too willing to box, and that just takes away what Khabib did good, right? So Khabib's what he's like is, I'm going to take you down. I'm going to wrestle you. I don't care about the striking, except for the Iaquinta fight. So Makachev is putting himself out there like that, I think, and he's great, and I think he's probably going to be champion, but he's not as good as everybody wants him to be, unfortunately.
You know who is?
Who's that?
Khamzat.
Khamzat Chimaev. Dude, he picked up Lee and just walked over to Dana White with him like he's a baby.
He's been punched one time in 4 fights. He's been hit one time in 4 fights.
The dude's a maniac. Craziness, dude. I love it. Him and Usman's going to be I don't know. We see him come in here and like starch these guys. I want to see him get drug out into deep waters, right? I want to see what happens if he fights like a Wonder Boy who can extend the fight, or a Gilbert Burns who can roll with him on the ground, potentially, because Burns is a great jiu-jitsu guy.
I think that Gilbert Burns has a better shot against Khamzat than Wonder Boy does, to be honest.
You'd be surprised, man. Wonder Boy, he does like really well. His footwork like keeps him out of trouble. It's weird, but like he just has a knack of pointing him up, and it's like, I'm gonna stay at my distance, and that makes the takedowns really hard. So I like Wonder Boy, but I do agree though. I think Burns with the jiu-jitsu has a better shot because the fight's gonna be there.
He's got very good. He's great on the ground, and if that's where you're gonna end up, then let's be real. Like, Wonder Boy is getting experienced, I guess you could say.
He's old. Let's be real.
He's old. All right. Well, let's call it what Wonder it is. Man. He's old. Even Wonder Boy sometimes leaves himself open. As good as a striker as he is, he's one of the best ever. You know what I mean? Like striking alone. Mm-hmm. The way he moves in and out, his footwork, and the way he like hops and springs off of his feet back and forward, and he can get in and out really quickly. That's all great. But like, once you get to a certain age, and once you get popped into time, you get a little bit slower, and then it takes a little bit less to ring that bell as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think that if you try to point fight him, he kind of pushes forward till you get to a cage, and he's faster. Khamzat's, dude, did you see his wrestling match?
It was awesome.
7 seconds in, and he's tossing Jack Hermanson, like just flipping him. I was just like, holy shit, bro, this guy is nuts.
That's 2, though. He gave up 2 points, though. But he got to the ground where he wanted to be.
Right. No, it was...
He's a maniac. I love him. I like the fact that these wrestlers or these fighters are going out, they're doing jiu-jitsu competitions, they're wrestling and stuff, bringing attention to these sports, because I like wrestling. I watch college wrestling, I watch Olympic wrestling, I like kickboxing, I like all of it, and I like that they're doing this kind of stuff. Last fight,
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, last fight, the heavyweight in January, Francis Ngannou, Cyril Gane. Ngannou's about to get beat, bro.
I don't know, man. I think that's just based on what people have been seeing.
Bro.
He went against Derek Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
And
sunned him.
He did, but he did. But I really think that styles make fights.
Yeah.
And he had once Derek Lewis, I think, in my opinion, and don't get me wrong, I know Derek Lewis is a monster. He could end my life with one bare hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
He could knock my head right off my shoulders. But I noticed that when something's like, he basically has one
hand.
one tool, unless you count that switch kick he does every now
Yeah.
and then.
Never
But
knocked anybody out with it.
realistically, he has one tool, and he relies on you coming forward into him and staying there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And by the time Cyril came in to, stay there, he had already done enough in and out on him where he wore him down.
Yeah.
And then the little bit of clinch work or pushing against the cage, and it all just frustrates. I think that Cyril Gane mentally broke Derek Lewis very early on in that fight.
You know who's
I think he just mentally broke his will.
You know who's mentally susceptible? Francis.
Yeah,
bro.
I feel like they've trained together.
Yeah.
And Cyril Gane says he knows he can handle his power, but like sparring together and then actually
fighting is different.
Fighting is a different thing, man. And I feel like sometimes that even like, what's the fight we just saw with Riddell and Fiziev?
Oh, banger.
Absolute banger. Holy shit. But they used to be sparring buddies. You know what I mean?
Aldo and Petr Yan.
Dude, man, there's been, this year has been I guess I'm just a true fan, because every year lately I'm just
this is a blessing this year.
I feel like it just keeps getting better and better and better. Like every year it keeps getting better.
You get more invested into the
UFC
story.
Does.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So I gotta ask you something. This is a sidebar. This is a sidetrack.
Go.
Did you watch that triad event?
No, I did not. I was too busy watching Teofimo Lopez get beat. I was like, I got to watch the real boxing match tonight because this is going to be a good one. And sure enough, he lost. How was it though? Did you like it?
So the MMA guys won it. I'm not a fan of Nick Cannon.
No.
At all. Not at all. And they were like, oh, we've got Nick Cannon. So I'm going to give you my opinion about the overview, and then I'm going to tell you why I just found this hilarious and why. Okay, so number one, they have do you know about the sport where they have the gloves that are 8 ounce and they're open fingered?
They're boxing and they can clinch and do spinning back fist. Yeah.
Yes.
Different. It's weird.
Nobody's clinching. I mean, really? No, everybody was boxing. That is just boxing with MMA-ish gloves on.
Ish, MMA-ish gloves.
Well, I mean, they're not 4 ounce, they're 8 ounce.
Yeah.
But they're MMA gloves with 8 ounces.
Right.
They're trying to incorporate it was like they're taking some stuff from Triller, basically. Like they had the Metallica there playing in between sometimes.
Well, it was Triller putting it on though, huh? It's Triller Triad, huh?
It's Triller Triad?
I think so. Yeah. So it makes sense then.
Well, these guys, man, it was hilarious because the guy who put on this triad thing specifically, I don't remember what his name is, something Kavanaugh.
Mm-hmm.
He said something like, we sent out an invitation to Dana White, and he's like trolling Dana White. And then he's like, I wanted him to come down and see how some real production is.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, oh my God, dude, you lost all credibility.
Why?
And then he's like, all right, let's get back to Metallica. I know everybody wants to see that. And I'm like,
I don't.
Old fighters, old music. You're like, old dude
and Mike Perry.
It looked like an old dude wearing a Affliction shirt at an event that he made up, and he invited all of his closest buddies to show up to. You know what I mean? And then Nick Cannon, of course, getting on his knees for the dude just to be part of the show, and it was just a bunch of bad commentary.
Triller's horrible commentary. So what really put me off about it was the booking of the main event against Frank Mir and Kubrat Pulev. Pulev's last fight was against Anthony freaking Joshua.
Yeah.
That's horrible matchmaking, bro. So I was like, I'm gonna watch Lopez and Camboso, see what happens there.
Well, the MMA guy, it was MMA versus boxing, and the MMA guys won overall in points.
I didn't know it was a team competition, actually. That's funny.
Well, it was single boxing matches, but for each time you you won the fight, I think you got 3 points. Or you won, you got 1 point, and then you knocked them out or TKO'd them, then you got 3 points. It was either that or 3 and 5. But regardless, Rampage against forget his name. They were talking back and forth the whole time.
It was I don't remember who it was. He retired in like the 90s or early 2000s. I don't remember who.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
It was so cringy though.
But the whole thing is cringe. And then they all talk about like fighter pay and all this other stuff. And I'm like, a lot of people don't realize, like, whenever they talk about boxing and UFC and all that, in the UFC, like, you tear a meniscus in a fight and you get treatment from the UFC. So like you basically have health insurance.
Right.
You know, every fighter on the card is making 20,000 or 10,000 plus.
Right.
In boxing, yeah, Floyd Mayweather against Logan Paul, they might make $100 million combined. But then you look at the lowest people on the card and they might make $500, dude.
Yeah.
Or some crazy, stupid, like pennies, you know, like
it really
peanuts.
is a disparity. People talk shit about the UFC pay thing, but like I was looking at some of the numbers the other day. And it's like, okay, it's just high main events is what it is. Co-mains are making like 20 grand to show up, all that kind of stuff. So last thing, I know I said last thing before, but your boy's back, Jake Paul. Tommy Fury pulled out with a torn labia.
Yeah.
Tyron Woodley steps in again to fight Jake Paul. Does it matter?
I mean, do you need to ask?
Let me tell you this. I love Jake Paul.
Dude, he's such a funny troll.
He makes everybody so mad, and it's hilarious that they like people don't see it. They're like, "Oh, he's disgracing boxing." I'm like, bro, he's just getting on your nerves.
I've only recently started liking him. I've never known who he was. Like, I didn't know him as a YouTuber. I did not know him as a Disney star. Whatever.
Quit lying. You knew him as a Disney star.
I swear, like I don't even know if I could name something off of a Disney show. You know what I mean? Like I've never watched any of that.
It was boxing for me too that got him.
If he wasn't on Aladdin, I didn't see him. But no, I think that the guy is hilarious. In a cringy way, but it's what he's himself, you know, right. And he knows what he's got to do. He knows what he's got to do. He's a marketing genius. All right. I'm gonna tell you, he's a marketing genius, and he's been doing it long enough, apparently. But he's smart. I mean, the dude's so smart. Of all the fights he's picking, I mean, when you saw Ben Askren on the walkout to fight Jake Paul,
no. Here we go.
You were just going like, what is this? Like, who is that? That's really Ben Askren? Like,
oh, this is gonna be horrible.
Yeah. I was just thinking, this is so bad. Like, he can't box anyway. And
does he beat
he's
Woodley?
Way out of shape. He just had a hip replacement. What is this? And you know, Ben Askren, kudos to him. He knew what he was in there for. He was like, I'm going to get a payday. And he took it like a champ, whatever. Not like a champ, but he took it well.
He said like a champ. Wait, no, not like a champ.
No, not like a champ. Not at all like a champ. He took it like a man. I'll say that. He took it like a man and did his thing. The Tyron Woodley thing, are you surprised that Tyron Woodley was gun shy? Do you think that now he's going to pull a magical horseshoe out of his ass and be like, that's it?
He did against Vicente Luque. And he got knocked out
for him.
He got knocked out. But be real. Who hits harder, Jake Paul or Luke? I mean,
Vicente Luque clearly hits harder than Jake Paul.
But Jake Paul fights at 190.
I would assume, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
If you've been training boxing nonstop and only boxing, dude, I've like fought friends with boxing gloves on in the yard.
It's different.
Okay. And they punch a certain way. Whenever I was in Afghanistan, I trained boxing with this Golden Glove boxer, this guy, Adam. When he hit me, it was like, it felt so effortless for him to hurt me with every punch. I was just like, holy shit. Like all of his punches hurt. And he was hitting me with little bitty straight shots, just pep, pep, pep. And I'm like, oh my God.
This is awesome.
My friend, meanwhile, swinging haymakers, hit me with his forearm across my face and hit me in my temple. And I'm still going, well, whatever.
His arms,
I'm all right.
It's his arms behind it. But when he gets, when the Golden Glove guy gets his waist and his hips into it, it's a different story.
Well, I think that's the thing though, is like, I think I think people would be surprised about how many people Jake Paul really will end up beating in boxing matches.
Like
I don't
Canelo.
believe that he had no, come on now. People are talking about the Conor McGregor thing. Like, do you think that's why Conor McGregor's going to 190, like in weight right now?
No, he's
like
going up to one. He's going to fight to 170 is what it is. He's going to fight Usman, or he wants to.
Do you think gaining that much weight that fast is smart?
No, not at all. He's going to gas him, and he's already got gas tank issues. It's not smart, but he's doing it anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He wouldn't. I don't know. 170 right now is a scary place to be, dude.
Very scary.
Usman, you think about. I mean, if you go over the Colby Covington Kamaru Usman fight, let's say that you're starting out in 170, and they give you somebody who is kind of new too in Hamzat. Oh God, you're dead. Like your first fight in 170, and you're going, no, I don't want him.
No, I'm good.
Let's say that they say, all right, well, look, we can't quite give you a title shot right away, but you can have Colby first.
You can fight Leon Edwards.
Leon Edwards. Oh my God, dude. Leon Edwards would piece Conor up so bad.
Colby would be the worst fight. It'd be worse than
Usman. Colby would definitely be the worst fight. I think it would be over.
Colby's going to gas him. He's going to gas him like just
absolutely
burn him out.
The pressure, the absolute pressure. Did you watch the last Covington and
Yes, it was great. It was great. Hey, can you imagine the press conference with Colby and Conor though?
That would be hilarious.
It'd be great. I'd love it. I don't
know. Like, if I wish it would be Colby and old Conor.
Yeah.
New Conor doesn't. I mean, his lead up to Dustin Poirier 3. The
cringy.
He doesn't have his wittiness about him like he used to. He doesn't have the whole.
He's rich.
He's got so much money, dude.
That's the problem.
So much money.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to be the same in fighting.
No, for sure not.
I think he's just kind of doing it
just to do it.
Just to do it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Why not? It's like Rocky 3.
That's exactly where he's at. And he's gonna have to fight a Russian in Makachev, and then he's gonna lose that one too, though.
Yeah. Oh, I think for sure there's just if you don't have the ground defense, and I mean you have to have almost perfect. I think it's gonna take another wrestler, somebody with some wrestling skills, to beat Makachev. That's a
good thought. Or like Gamrot, who has like very good jiu-jitsu.
That's what I think would give him the biggest. Those are like the big threats, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that since Gaethje already said he has that next title shot, he's going to be waiting out. Yeah. Who do you think Makhachev fights next?
The loser of this weekend.
You think so? You think that's who they're going to put him up against?
Yeah, I think he gets that. Oh no! Dariush is who he's fighting. I think they're working on that.
That's right. He's fighting Dariush.
It's a banger. Beneil Dariush. That's a banger. I like it.
I think Dariush is going to be actually a better fight for him than a lot of people in that division would be.
Yeah.
Beneil Dariush. I think that he'll be a better matchup against Islam than
he's tough.
A lot of people.
On the ground.
He's tough in a lot. He's like well-rounded. Like
he's like
he can
gritty.
Hurt you standing up. He can hurt you on the ground. He's got decent wrestling. You know, like he's like all-around package. I think.
And he's like a boring person, and I like it. It's just a breath of fresh air. He's just kind of like there. It's like, what am I doing here? I'm here.
Yeah, he doesn't talk any kind of shit.
He's a nice guy.
He just shows up and he's like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't know he was saying that about me. That's fine. We're just going to fight on Saturday. Like, it's cool. Like, not give a shit. I'm a fan of his, man.
I do. I like him too.
I'm a fan of most people in the UFC. I even like Colby Covington. I think his antics are stupid, but
they are very stupid, but it makes the money.
You got to do what you got to do to make the money. Whenever it comes down to it, I just like watching the fights.
Right.
The soap opera, it's not as much important to me. And
just getting good at fighting. That's what I like too.
Okay. If Amanda Nunes wins, I gotta ask you, if Amanda Nunes wins this weekend, is it Valentina and Nunes again?
No, but Amanda.
You think that fight's ever happening again?
No, I don't think it's happening again. I don't. Amanda has no reason to fight her, and the UFC has no reason to offer it to Valentina because she lost twice.
That last one,
It doesn't matter though. It's what's on the record books.
I understand it's on the record
You
books,
know?
but bro, that was like a really, we'll call it a technical stand-up fight.
Yeah, it was. It was boring as hell.
So boring.
It was a chess
So
match. When
boring.
somebody says, "Oh, this is such a chess match," it's so good. No, bro, it's boring.
That was like the Darren Till and Wonder Boy.
And Wonder Boy and Woodley 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It's just boring. Oh,
Yeah, for me,
Tom.
those are boring. I'm sure for them in the fight where they're, calculating every single little thing, it's probably not as boring.
But for me,
But
it's
us
boring.
watching, us fans,
I pay your bills, bro.
oh God, here we go.
I pay your bills, bro. It's boring. Come on, go bang. Tom, I got to get out of here, brother. Appreciate you
Hey
coming
man,
on. What
always
kind of
a
stuff you got
pleasure.
coming? You got any streaming or anything you doing lately?
I haven't streamed in months, man. Like honestly, I just haven't been able to find the time to do it. Like
You'll
I
be back.
get home from work and I had a girlfriend there for a little while, so yeah, that was a wash. It was a wash. Yeah, no, I was like, well, no gaming really. I got to go see her.
Women.
More priorities, bro. Priorities.
Women.
But I would like to get back into streaming again, but I just haven't. I've been working. If I'm looking for a reason or a time space to travel, and I'm having trouble finding that, then I'm busy, man.
Very, very. Well, brother, look, I'll be in touch, and let's go Poirier.
Let's go Poirier. Hell yeah, man.